More than 140 years ago, 3 courageous young women heard God's call. They started a religious community of Catholic women who would care for people in need. They were called to leave their German homeland and sail to America. The sisters began their work by educating the children of poor immigrant families in towns and cities throughout the Midwest. News of their good work spread across the country and around the world. Soon hundreds and then thousands of young women were called to serve the church as Franciscan sisters, serving in Catholic schools and parishes from coast to coast. Our mission has grown and today addresses the poor and marginalized of society in the United States, Europe, Latin America, and India. However, even as our sisters reach out to help others, they are in need of help themselves. Today, in the United States, 69% of our sisters are retired, and a growing number are in need of specialized senior care.
Our United States province is our largest province in the congregation, and as such has the highest number of sisters in and entering retirement, while at the same time the number of sisters currently earning an income for community support gets smaller every year.
For as long as our sisters are able and desire to do so, they live independently, often in houses or apartments with other sisters. Our convents provide assisted living and nursing care and specialized care for sisters with Alzheimer's disease.
As part of our call in leadership, we have a sacred trust to offer the very best care for our sisters who spent their lives working selflessly for the people of God while receiving little remuneration.
Your support gives these sisters safe and secure homes and the health care they need. Of course, even though they may be retired, our sisters are still active and involved in their communities.
When I was a young sister teaching in Iowa and Nebraska, each school sister group I lived with had at least one retired sister. And that sister continued to work as a volunteer tutor or kept a garden and helped with the lunch program or did whatever she could to be of service to people. In these small family groups of 6 to 14 sisters, I benefited greatly from the wisdom of the retired sisters, and I also shared in the responsibility to help meet their needs.
Some sisters volunteer in schools, continuing to educate children as they did for decades before retiring. Other sisters volunteer in pastoral ministries, bringing hope and love to those in need. Still others volunteer for our congregation, serving as ambassadors and offering support to our ministries and offices.
When I was working, I was always doing multitasking. I couldn't rest on Tuesday without thinking of Wednesday or remembering what was happening on Monday. So now it's more, I can put my whole mind and all my energy into the task that I'm doing because it's a small task I might be doing, but I'm not totally responsible for the whole thing. And I find this such a relief for me and for my mind and for my body just to sit back and do what is expected at the time.
Our retired sisters' most important ministry is prayer. Each day, they hold the intentions of hundreds of people in their prayers and thoughts. They serve God through their voices as choir singers. Their prayer life remains strong throughout their retirement years.
We're always reminded that God is here and He's with us all the time.
The spirituality of the Franciscan spirit is joy, peace. Those are the 2 items I strive for.
Today, the average annual cost of care for a retired sister is $42,867. Our retirement fund is currently half of what we need it to be to provide quality retirement care for all of our sisters going forward. Caring for these wonderful women of faith is an urgent need for our congregation, and we are grateful for the many partners who help us in any way possible.
Just their sense of humor and their giving and never complaining.
And I know personally, Sister always says we pray for you always, and I said I know we have made it through many things in our life because of prayer, and I firmly believe that prayer is so important.
In response to the growing number of retired sisters needing care, we are embarking on an exciting renovation of our Sacred Heart Convent in Milwaukee. This project will result in lower health care costs to the congregation as we centralize our retirement program in Milwaukee County. The building is located on the campus of our mother house, and the renovation will expand the building's capacity from 54 to 82 sisters. Here, sisters will be able to age in place, with options for independent living, assisted living, nursing care, and Alzheimer's care. The total cost of the renovation is nearly $9 million, but it will enable us to be responsible stewards of our resources.
The renovation of Sacred Heart is so important. It will give our sisters a safe convent home in which they can age in place and continue serving God's people through volunteer ministry and the ministry of prayer. We are so grateful for the life of service our sisters share and for the benefactors who so generously partner with us in mission, making this home possible.
As our United States sisters meet the needs of their retired sisters, our international sisters are also beginning to plan for their retirement needs.
Today, I am more aware of our international community as a family that extends across the globe. And I'm conscious of the needs of our aging sisters in the U.S., Europe, India, and Latin America. These sisters have dedicated their lives to God and to serving God's people. Many continue to contribute what they can to others well into their retirement years.
36% of the sisters in our Latin American province are retired. And our Indian provinces have recently seen their first retirements as well. These provinces will need support going forward as they find the best ways to care for sisters in their own countries.
I feel close to the sisters that need attention. Yes, we have a good spirit.
Making people happy. That's my ministry now, to be a source of joy for other people by my being nutty.
As a community, we continue to be committed to providing for the personal and spiritual well-being of our retired sisters, as well as the medical care that they need. And we are profoundly grateful to everyone whose generosity helps us to ensure that our retired sisters are cared for worldwide.
We are so blessed by your support of our sisters, and we hope you take pride in how much good you have done with us around the world. Of course, there is still much more to do in order to continue to meet the needs of our times and to care for the sisters who have given so much of themselves to others. When you support the retirement fund of the School Sisters of St. Francis, you give these sisters quality health care, secure and accessible homes, and most importantly, love.
We pray for the donors in our prayer group. And so I hope you will keep doing what you're doing. It means a lot to us.
Well, I I am completely blessed by God. I have always felt that God has blessed me in so many ways. I don't know how we could ever thank all those people who give us support in finances or in prayers.
I pray God's blessing to them, to their family, and that's the only way I could express my gratitude, by praying, asking God to bless them, give them a lot of grace to live good lives.
Thank you for opening your hearts, and may God bless you and keep you.